Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel today. I'm going to be filming my favorite books of 2018. Yesterday y'all saw my worst books of 2018. Oh, and Happy New Year! I'm filming this on New Year's Eve, so if you hear fireworks, my neighbors have already started. They're scaring the shit out of my cats. So if you hear boom, 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 that's what it is. But yeah, I'm going to go in order from number 10 all the way up to my number one favorite that y'all have to read because I want to fangirl with y'all. I need to talk about this book with somebody. So, first book is The House by Christina Lauren. I got this book back in 2015. That's when it came out. I won this in a Goodreads giveaway. And it is a scary, spooky book. And if you hear click, 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 Sammy's doing Pac-Man. It's kind of distracting, little one. This is about a boy named Gavin. He lives in a house all by himself. The town thinks that he's being taken care of by his mom, when in actuality, the house is taking care of him. It's paying the bills, it's feeding him, clothing him, buying things. If he needs money, it automatically appears. One day, this girl comes back from boarding school because her parents can no longer afford to send her because her grandmother has been put into a nursing home. Her grandmother has Alzheimer's or dementia, and she's forgetting how to do things. And so the grandmother, who was watching the girl while she was in boarding school, was put in a home, and the girl went back to live with her parents. The girl does not get along with her parents, and she automatically remembers Gavin because she had a crush on him before she left. And so they get together. Christina Lauren does cute, fluffy romances. But this book, it's got the spook factor. It is the perfect read. And the house tries to kill her. Yes. Read this, especially around October. This is my first Christina Lauren read, and I will have to read more by these two ladies in 2019. Coming in at number 9 is The Crescent Stone by Matt Mikalatos. This book is about a girl who has an incurable disease. She cannot breathe, and her lungs keep failing every day. And she's been given a death sentence. She does not have much longer to live, and so she's trying to make the best of it. One day, she goes to school. She doesn't make it 5 minutes into her chemistry class before she's passed out on the ground. Her chemistry partner, Jason, is my favorite dude of all time because he is so humorous, he's snarky, he's sarcastic, but he's so caring and loving. And there's no romance in this book at all. She has an ex-boyfriend who tries to take care of her, but things change. But yeah, Jason drives her straight to the hospital, where in the hospital, this magical dude shows up and tells Madeline that he will give her the ability to breathe normally again if she will serve 1 year of a service helping what's their names? Oh my god. The Eleanor defeat these what's the word? Defeat these outcast warriors who wants to take their magic. She agrees, but Jason comes along as her protector. And the only thing he wants is chocolate pudding and not the fake crap. Word for word. I want chocolate pudding every day, and it can't be the fake crap. And I just busted out laughing. So, book 2 comes out this year called The Heartworm, or the Heartwood, not heartworms, that's bad. Heartwood crown. Heartworms, oh my god, Kelly. I'll have the Heartwood crown in my upcoming anticipated releases of 2018. So, yes. 5 out of 5. Pick this up, read it, you will enjoy it, you will laugh. It is a great magic system, it's great fantasy, and it's so pretty. These colors, oh my god. Coming in at number 8 is Arisha and the End of Time. This was so cute. I loved it. I love anything mythology, especially Rick Riordan. And it's hilarious because of the pigeon. I forget his name. What's the pigeon's name?
Boo.
Boo! Boo the pigeon!
Well, we might as well let the whale in there.
Yep. But this is so cute. I love anything mythology. My senior year of high school, I took a mythology class, and I was the best student in that class. That's not an exaggeration. It's the truth. Yeah, it's about a little girl. She lives in a museum in Atlanta, Georgia. My favorite city in the world. And she gets dared by a couple of classmates who say she's a pathological liar. And she ends up releasing a monster who freezes time and basically wants to end the world. And she goes on this quest to find 3 what keys?
Yep, three keys of the
With the what? I can't. You can speak.
dead place. Dogs. It's a ball.
I remember that part. Stop touching. You're gonna make my thing fall.
Sorry.
Okay. It's a ball. Yeah. Spoiler alert. It's a ball.
It's hilarious. Read it.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Just read it. It came in the April Owl Crate Junior. This is what made me start my Owl Crate Junior subscription, because it came with a pillowcase and this book, and I needed it. But yeah, just read it. I can't wait for the second book that comes out this year, Arisha and the Song of Death. Okay, stop. But yeah, one of my favorites. And the cover is so pretty. The Gods rides. Yes. The Gods chariots. Alright, book number 6 is 6 Miles to Charleston, the true tale of John and Lavinia Fisher. This is a nonfiction. I read it back in November. If you don't know John and Lavinia Fisher, it's legend that Lavinia Fisher is considered the first female serial killer in the United States, which is not true. That whole legend is a lie based on I just hit the wall. It's based on a lie. She was hanged. She was incarcerated in the old Charleston jail. She did run a tavern called 6 Mile House, but her and her husband did not kill or rob travelers. They did not own a cellar where they buried the chopped up little pieces of these travelers. And she did not say anything about going to the devil and talking to him. Tells how they are ultimately victims of the South Carolina government and the Charleston sheriff at that time period. And how they were buried in a potter's field, and Lavinia Fisher might be buried underneath a hospital building. I don't remember. I think I'll have to put it on the bottom of the screen which hospital or which building is buried on the potter's field. But yeah, it's just a sad story how 200 years later, there's no pardon for them for these crimes, and I enjoyed it. 5 out of 5, and I need to own this book. do you know how much they want for a copy of the paperback? Not hardback, paperback. They want $16 on Book Depository. What? For a little under 200-page book. But, hey, I need it. I might buy it. Or it might be a Christmas present this year. Christmas is over and I'm already thinking about next Christmas. See, what? Wait a minute. Did I say that 6 Miles to Charleston was number 6? I meant number 7. Coming in at number 6 is How Democracies Die by Stephen Levitsky and Daniel Ziblatt. This is a nonfiction saying that if Trump stays in office any longer, he's going to kill our democracy and make it a totalitarian, authoritarian, or something. What's the other one? A dictatorship? It talks about how Italy and Germany during World War II, they had totalitarian dictators, and talks about Fidel Castro in Cuba. It's an eye-opener, and with the way things are going, how the government shut down right now, how Trump is trying to change everything, keep all the illegals out, get rid of all the naturalists. I think that's what you call them when they leave one country and then come here and become a citizen of this country. I don't know. But yeah, it was really good. It opened my eyes. It made me hate Trump even more. So read this and come talk to me about it. Number 5 on this list is Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. I read this after watching Black Panther. Oh my god, yes. It was so good. It's about this girl named Zeeley, or Zeeley. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Zeeley, that's what I say. She is she's a motherless girl. She no longer has her magic, and she's training to be a warrior. Her dad and her brother live in this fishing village, and she's studying to be a warrior secretly. And she has the white hair of the Magi. I should have known that word. It was a word in a Mummy. But she's got the white hair of the Magi. Her mother was a Magi. She was a reaper. The king's guards come and raid the village and kill some people. The princess, she escapes, and they run into each other while Zeeley is trying to get money to pay taxes. Taxes is the fucking... It'll be death to us all. Taxes suck. Yeah. Then the prince comes looking for them. And the insta-love, it didn't really bother me because I didn't see it as insta-love. And the cliffhanger. Holy crap. I need Children of Virtue and Vengeance, or Vengeance and Virtue. What is it? I have it written down. See. I need Children of Virtue and Vengeance, like, right now. I need to see how all of this is going to go down. But yes, 5 out of 5. If you had not read it, what are you doing with your life? Read it now. Again, at number 4 is the first book that I read this year, in 2018. It's The Chalk Man by C.J. Tudor. This is a twisty thriller. I just read the back. It is spooky. It is like, what? I did not see that coming. Plot twist out the wazoo. It is about this boy. He grows up in England. It tells of his time as a boy, and then in the present when he's a school teacher. I think he's a school teacher. But I'll read it. In 1986, Eddie and his band of misfit friends are on the verge of adolescence. Bonded by mutual awkwardness and a yearning for excitement, they spend their days biking around their English village looking for adventure. The Chalkmen are their secret code. Okay. So, reading that a little bit, it reminds me of what happened. So, this girl, she gets basically decapitated at this theme park. And she has limbs hanging loose, and yeah. So they save her, and then a couple weeks later, or a couple months later, she goes missing and is found dead. They find her body, but the only thing missing is her head, and they never find it. So the murder scene, there's these chalk men, and these boys drew these chalk men. Not around the murder scene, but they never find the murderer. Well, they do find the murderer, but they don't find the right one. But they find the chalk men all around us. And when they were growing up, they would use these chalk men to signify what, if they needed help or if they wanted to just play, they would draw certain colors. And yeah, that's all I want to say, because I gave too much. But oh my god, yes, you'll never find out. I didn't. The ending made me shooketh. It made me grossed out. It was just... But if you figure it out and don't like this book, what are you doing? Why you gotta ruin the fun for the rest of us? And CJ Tudor is having her second book released next year in 2019. Or this year in 2019. Whenever I get this video up, probably tomorrow. It's called... It's got two titles. One's UK title, it's Annie Thorne. And then the second title for the US is something. It's something that I like the UK title better. And I'm going to need to buy the UK copy of this, because instead of sprayed edges, they have chalkmen drawn on the edges. That's the Waterstones copy, and I need it in my life. Coming in at number 3 is 10 Reasons Not to Fall in Love by Linda Green. I got this off of Amazon for a penny. Actually, $4. But it was a penny. It's about this woman named Jo. She is just coming off of maternity leave 2 years later. She's having to go back to work, where her ex, who did not want to be a father, who did not want to take on that responsibility, is her boss. And he's dating one of their co-workers right in front of her face. And she lists these things. I'm going to read the list because it's funny. Alright, number 1. I'd have to shave my legs, even in winter. Number 2. Couldn't get away with wearing big knickers, which is underwear. Number 3. Having spaghetti hoops for tea. Tea is dinner. Number 4, he'd have to meet my mother. Number 5, my boss is my ex and no man could accept that. Number 6, single moms are about as attractive to men as syphilis. Number 7, I'll never fall in love again is my theme tune. Number 8, last time I was dumped for a weather girl. Number 9, I no longer trust men. Lies! And number 10, can't risk Alfie getting hurt again. Alfie is her 2-year-old son. Okay, so the reason I said number 9 is a lie is because she takes Alfie to this little museum or little event that's going on. And there she meets a little balloon sculpture artist who lives on a houseboat. Yeah. And the reason why I like this book so much is because the author doesn't do chapters, but she does little chapters for the male character. And instead of labeling them chapter 1, chapter 2, she just puts Dan at the top and the date and the year. It goes into his childhood of why he acts the way he does, why he's so hesitant and afraid and kind, and sweet and just lovey. Oh my god. I ship Joe and Dan so hard. I need another book with these two characters, but she doesn't do sequels. And if she did, I'd be reading the sequel to this so fucking fast. Oh my god. But yes, read it. It's cute, fluffy, and I read it in 2 days. Okay, we're almost done. Book number 2. I read it for the Buzzword Readathon that Books on Lawa hosted, and I had a hated book and one of my new favorites. And that is The Girl from the Train by Irma Jobert. This book was a translated works from the language Afrikaans. Afrikaans. She is a South African author, and I need to read more of this author's books. I know there's another one translated, but the rest of her works are not. But this takes place in World War II. A little 6-year-old girl and her sister escapes from a concentration camp train headed to Auschwitz. And this dude named Jacob, he's part of the Polish resistance. He blows up the tracks that the train is on, and he did not know that there were Jews on that train. So it is a catch-22. He basically saved them from a concentration camp and something worse. He gave them an early death, but it's horrible that they died like that when they could have been saved. But he finds this little girl. Her name is Gretel. He finds her in the woods after her sister has died from exhaustion and starvation. And he takes her under his wing until the war ends. A couple years later, his mom says, take her to a German orphanage. We cannot take another mouth to feed when his sister has just given birth to a new baby. So he takes her to a German orphanage. And she's a German Jew. Her dad was an SS officer. Her mom was a Jewish woman. She has to forget everything. She cannot speak German. She cannot speak Russian. She cannot speak Polish. She has to basically hide who she really is. And she can't say she's German. She can't say she's Polish. And she can't say she's a Jew because she will be hated either way. And so she has to lie. Jacob has to lie and forge documents to get her into this German orphanage. And she automatically gets adopted by the South African couple who was wanting pure German children to save and raise, whose parents had died in the war. And so she grows up, and it was just amazing. We see how she goes through life. We see Jacob as he goes through his life, and it's just amazing. I need more from this author. It was just heartbreaking, heart-touching, and it was sweet and kind of sad. It made me cry. It made me laugh. It made me smile. It made me angry. Yeah, 5 out of 5. If y'all have not read this and are looking for a good World War II novel, this one right here, all the way. And my number 1 favorite for 2018 is The Heart's Invisible Furies by John Boyne. It's a hunker. It's the longest book I've read this year. It clocks in at 592 pages. Almost 600 pages. Follows this boy's life from the time it starts with his mother, who's a teenage whore. She gets banished from her Irish village. The priest, he's one of those old priests like, damn you and damn you, you got an unwanted pregnancy and you had premarital sex and all this and that, and you're banished. When he's had 2 kids and by 2 different women in 2 different villages. Let me tell you that. Okay, so he banishes her from her Irish village. She can't see her parents again. Her father doesn't want anything to do with her. And so she gets on the train to Dublin. and she meets this guy who takes her in. And when they get to Dublin and get off the bus, they meet another guy who they are sharing a room with. And so all three of them are bunking. They become roommates. And one night, the dude's father, who she arrived in Dublin with, finds him and the guy and kills the son, and hits her, causing her to go into a early labor. And the other guy, the big buff dude, he saves her and takes her to the hospital. She gives up the baby for adoption, and he is adopted by a wealthy predominant family in Dublin. All his life, he is told that he is not a real Avery, which is the last name of the family that adopted him. The mother is a well-known author who hates her books. Every time her books get on the bestseller list, she's like, huh? Me? Oh, God, no, leave me alone. How could you read that trash? It's weird. And the father, he's an asshole. But, yeah, don't look at me like that. But it goes through his life of him growing up as a gay teen. In Ireland, homosexuality was forbidden. You were found out as a homosexual if they found you out as a gay, and that you would basically be beaten up, thrown in prison, or killed and left in the street. So this is all about Cecil's life, growing up, not knowing his real birth mother, and going through the homosexuality, falling in love with his best friend, and yeah, until the day he dies. And it was just so good. He finds a family, he finds love. It's about heartbreak, it's about AIDS, it's about homosexuality, it's about race. It's a great LGBTQ plus novel. It won a National Book Award in 2017, and it was so good. I highly recommend this book. If you have not read it, John Boyne is now one of my most favorite authors, and this is the only book I read by him. I need his other books as soon as possible. I know he wrote a couple, The Boy on the Mountain and The Boy in the Striped Pajamas. So yes, highly recommend this book. Please read it. 5 out of 5. If I could get a 10 out of 5 or 100 out of 5, I would. That is it for my favorites of 2018. I hope you enjoyed. It was a long one. I'm running out of space again on my phone. If you have read any of these books, or are you planning on reading any of these books, please let me know down in the comments so I can keep a lookout for your videos. And then after you read them, we can talk about them and fangirl, or discuss what you liked or didn't like. But yeah, please read these books. I need to talk to somebody about them. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button. I hope you had a fantastic 2018. I am sending you all my love and support and thoughts and well wishes for 2019. And I will see you in my next video, which will be my... I got it written down. Hold on. Anticipated 2019 releases. Bye.